ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alice Cooper.
Mr. Russell, how are you?
Please to sit yourself down.
Yes.
Now, do I call you Alice or Ms?
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Not Ms. Cooper?
Actually, you can call me Inspector Maurice Escargot.
That's Maurice Snail, isn't it?
Yes. No.
Do you
Just call me Alice.
Okay.
My mom doesn't call me Alice, but you can call me Alice.
What does your mum call you?
My mom calls me about twice a week. Sends me $5.
What does she call you when she calls you?
No, she calls me Alice. She finally got used to it. She got into a point where she was in between my real name, Vincent, and Alice. So she was sort of going, Vincent, could you come over tonight? Could you send me $5? And
Because we know very well that you or have been, or are, or were, or used to be, or maybe now even are again, into all these extraordinary things which I've gone to. Would you describe for me your dear home life as it was? I mean, were the chintz curtains and your dad's a priest and all that kind of thing?
yeah, I went to church 4 times a week and things like this, you know, and it got to the point where, you know, I was developed into Alice. I needed Alice. I really did need to be Alice. You probably need to be another personality, you know. It's good for you, because then you don't have nervous breakdown.
Well, so
you know,
far,
you really...
so far, I haven't had a nervous breakdown. But the way this
Oh,
is
you
going,
could, though, very easily.
Oh, very
I've been
easily.
watching the show.
Very easy.
You're in trouble.
Very easy.
Russell.
I think if you're going to have a nervous breakdown, you do what I do, which is shave a lot. You clearly don't shave.
No, I just started growing this. Do you like this?
Well,
like, very much like
is not the right word. You've got a lot of hair down your cheeks
Yeah,
as well.
like that. That's nice.
Back to your little home. Your father...
Why do you want to know about my home
I'll
life?
tell you why. I'll tell you why, exactly. I presume your father had a room in which he wrote his sermons. And
No.
He didn't?
No. My father and I are best of friends. He really related very much with the kids in the church because he was very hip. And actually the kids in the church really liked him. The older people didn't like him, you know. My dad is sort of like an 50-year-old Alice Cooper. He's sort of a very theatrical preacher. He really is. He's very good, too. I like him.
Does he draw the crowds?
Yeah, he doesn't wear makeup or anything, you know, but he's very, very hip.
He doesn't wear a shroud or anything?
No. He's very, you know, I can't be disrespectful because I really respect what my dad does. And he respects what I do because he knows that I'm really not a violent person, and I'm really not. The character of Alice is a violent person.
No, but wait a minute, Alice, old chap. What I'm saying to you is this. There must have been a day when you knocked on your dad's door and said, I want to be Alice from here onwards.
No, why would I have to do that? Why? Do you know that this chair squeaks very much?
You know
Listen
it
to this.
squeaks when you move it. If you keep it still, it doesn't squeak on its own.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm nervous. I'm here in Britain when they don't really like me that much. Hi.
How dare you? You're surrounded by an enormous wealth and deal of affection.
Can I be honest?
Isn't he?
Can I really be honest with you? The very best audiences in Europe was at Wembley, when we played Wembley here, in Liverpool. Honestly, the very best. They were just knockout.
You had a
And
bit
your
of...
chair still squeaks.
Well, do you want to sit on the floor? I mean, sit on the floor if you want to relax. Well, you had a bit of a row in Munich.
Aha! Yeah, you know, Munich has got probably the best-looking girls in the world, except for London, of course.
This part of London.
Yes, right here in this building.
That's right.
But I don't know what the problem was. They stopped us at the airport. They took our passports away, which is silly. You know, we had 45 people trying to put this production together, and they're taking our, because they said we stole some towels. You know, this is silly. We don't even wash. and you know, it was just such a funny thing, you know, that they would take our passports away, and we didn't get them back for days. We couldn't get them.
Were you held to ransom then?
Yeah, that was a silly thing. The hotel actually, what they wanted to do was, since there were 45 people in one hotel, they wanted to get us for an extra day, which was, you know, a couple $1,000, you know, with 45 people. You know, in the way that my crew drinks, that would have been like $5,000. So, I mean, they really held us up.
Are you telling me that you float forward on a tide of booze?
Oh, me?
Not you.
Me?
The thing that propels you forward. Can I just smell it?
No, I'll tell you the truth. I don't.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, go ahead.
What is it?
That's
It looks like blood. What is it?
well, it's not blood. Close.
Is it?
But that's whiskey, Canadian whiskey. You guys still own Canada, don't you? No, I guess not.
I know what it is.
It's Seagram's VO.
Anyway,
am I allowed to say
anyway,
that?
you got a good reception in England. Where did you get the most hostile reception?
We don't get a hostile reception. That's a funny thing. That people, my reputation sort of precedes me, as far as killing chickens and biting people's heads off and killing babies. I never did that for one thing. I killed Barbie dolls. I didn't like Barbie dolls. My sister used to have a Barbie doll. I didn't like my sister that much. So when I was a kid, I used to kill Barbie dolls. But I didn't kill babies. I like babies. Babies are all right. And I never killed chickens.
Have you got
Colonel Sanders kills chickens. I don't kill chickens. No, I have a great problem.
Do you feel any kind of responsibility to audiences?
Well, no. First of all, you were Norman Jewison on the other show. I don't know if everybody here is supposed to think that we didn't film this in the same night, but we did film this on the same night, and he was on before us.
We're doing it the same night as Norman Jewison did it because
Yes.
you've kindly jetted in
Yes.
to do this particular conversation. We can't do it any other night, and therefore it's
I know.
tonight. And,
He said something very important about critics that really struck home because I've been saying it for years. I don't really care what the critics say about what I do on stage. It's the audience. See, because I'm an entertainer. I'm not a political person at all. I couldn't care less about politics. I mean, I'm not, I don't think that far. I read Time magazine, that's it, And so when it comes to just the idea of did the audience like it? That's a very important thing to say because the whole entertainment bit is very, very important. Any artist that tries to get up on the stage and say something is really silly. Because, what can anybody say that you don't already know? You know what's wrong and what's right. And then when they get up there and say, oh, save the trees and save the water and save all this. That's kind of silly because everybody knows that anyways.
But at a time when there's a deal of violence rampant everywhere and people are rushing off and doing things, what happens if somebody looks at you and can't be as bright and as clear and as articulate about his or her reaction to what he's seeing and goes off and does things that you do in fun?
No.
It's a very long question.
No. Well, for one thing, it's a very good question because it's important to know that the kids that I play to normally are much smarter than that. They're not dumb at all. The kids that I play to are in a media generation. They've been involved in media all their lives. They've grown up with cartoons, Tom and Jerry cutting each other up to pieces, and things like on cartoons, the most violent thing in the world on television. Alice Cooper is certainly not as violent as Tom and Jerry or anything Shakespeare wrote on, say as far as Macbeth. Pardon me. Either I sat on a mouse or you're...
We still have a squeaky chair.
To be very honest, I hate to get this serious. Isn't this awful?
It's quite interesting because, you're making a large claim for yourself.
Well, I am. It's just the fact that Alice Cooper never did anything that violent. It was a very silly thing it was just the fact that it was rock and roll. The kids know that I'm not that Alice is a character and I'm really me. I mean, look at me. How violent am I right now, right? No, the Alice Cooper character is a character that I play, the same way Bela Lugosi played Dracula. Right. But I leave him on stage. Right. But he still never did anything as violent as King Lear or that type of thing.
Your mummy said that the reason why you'd gone the way you'd gone, that handbag is very offensive. The reason why you'd gone the way you've gone is because you watch too much television.
Yeah, did my mom say that? I didn't know that. Well, listen, this whole generation is into that, Listen, I had kids. This is a very funny thing. Remember what I said before about kids being smarter than their parents? It's the fact that they actually watched it. I had a 13-year-old, 12-year-old kids come in and say, gee, can I have your autograph? And they're going, yeah. And they said, that was a great piece of theater. We used 400 lights in the show. And the kid says, that was terrific. But, on that fourth song, the green lighting over here on the right thing. And they were actually technically and they were right. They were technically right. And that comes from watching television and watching shows that are technically done well. And the people that we use in this show are like Broadway people. David Winters and Shep Gordon, Joe Gannon, people like that. They're all they've won awards, you know, for Broadway. So they know. And the kids know that. And that's an amazing thing. But the parents sit back and go, oh, this affecting my child is this. You know, and the kids are going, oh, come on, you know, it's just a show. And I think that's encouraging, that the kids know that much, you know.
Well, you've made that point.
Not all parents. I love you.
Oh,
Will you marry me? I can tell she loves me.
From that distance?
Yeah.
America, which you say has taken you to its heart. I mean, I reeled off a list of things that you are at the beginning. You're a senator. Are you? No. Yes,
Yes.
no. I've even forgotten what the list is.
You know,
now.
as much as I
A
hate
sheriff, deputy
politics, I
sheriff.
am a sheriff, and I can go out and go, yes, Maurice and Scago. You're under arrest, of course.
Are you an honorary sheriff?
Yes, honorary.
But do you have any power?
See, but I'm on the Bicentennial Committee. I'm on the Arts Committee for the Bicentennial. Yeah. I have no idea why. But
Do you mean celebrating our defeat? You're talking about?
Yes, I didn't want to say that.
No, I mean, it was charming of you. But do go on.
Mom. No, it's just the fact that I really am a very all-American type of person. You know?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, that once you were not accepted by what is now presumably an establishment, and that you shocked a lot of people. Did you shock people because you wore...
Wait a minute, shocked.
Shocked.
Oh, I thought you said shot. I was going to say
No, shocked. You shocked a lot of people early on. I'm going back 1 or 2 years now. By getting into drag and by wearing turquoise.
No, wait, let's get this straight.
Up.
I never dressed in drag.
Well, you're dressed in not trousers and not shirts.
No,
and
that's
not
not-
things that good, decent American gentlemen dressed in.
Oh, now, come on, I saw you last week. I wore danskins. You know, I looked like I went through a bomb blast, is what it really looked like. I never wore feminine makeup. I always wore more of a mime makeup. That's one thing that people invent about Alice Cooper. You know, the Alice Cooper image has always been preceded by rumors. I've never gone in drag once on stage. It's always been the type of thing where people would see. In 1966, you have to remember, you know, people were into that other thing. And I was wearing the black thing, and people were going, oh, hey, it's a fag, man. Guy's a fag. And I said, wolf, wolf. You know, I wasn't. I never was. I was always in mime.
You do
know?
know a lot of people are going,
I love that. That's called fuff.
But maybe you frighten people and cause them to ask questions about themselves. You are spending a lot of time defending yourself. I mean, I'm not attacking you. I'm just simply eliciting bits of information. But you're running into a kind of defense. Well, you're not looking at your watch.
My entire is this a watch?
I don't know.
If
it is, it's a very.
My entire career has been on defense. Even though the Alice character attitude has always been, who do I have to answer to? This is Alice. The audience likes it. The critics may not like it, but I couldn't really care less if the critics like it or not. You know, they won't leave because it's fun. If you dangle a little tiny thing in front of a baby, I consider the audience a baby. If you dangle a little tiny diamond thing, they'll go like that. You know, they'll watch it. The same thing with an audience. If you put an extravaganza, this show cost $400,000. You know, to put in front of the audience a 9-foot cyclops and 4 black widow spiders. It's an old Busby Berkeley theory, but it works. People like to see that. They're paying $7 to see a show. And what do they see? They don't see, I lost my baby. Oh, I feel so bad. You know, and everybody's going, that's good. I like that. This time they're saying, wow, there's the snakes up there and the piles and the point. You know.
We have some more of you in action, talking of which, dangling things. Take a look at this and wonder what you'd say if your daughter brought this man home for his tea.
I wouldn't bring me home for tea.
We're in trouble all the time. You read about us all in the papers. We walk around and bump into walls. A blind delegation. In the fruit. And we never heard of Billy Sunday, David Runyon, man is a coot. We're the Department of Youth. Your new Department of Youth. We're the Department of Youth. Just me and you.
Not many people have skated across Donny Osmond's face and lived to tell the tale, have they? It looks a very slippery surface you're on there.
Yeah. That's all. You know, I'll tell you the truth. It's more fun to work live to an audience than it is with videotape, which is, this is, you know. And I have much more fun working to an audience because you don't get any reaction back to it to a camera. You know, it's very clinical like that. When you're to an audience, 20,000 people, you get out there and they go, "Roar!"
And you have enormous power over your audience at that point, don't you? I mean, they work up into a frenzy scream.
Well, yeah, you don't go out to see it. The Alice attitude is not that you go out to the audience and go, gee, I hope you like us tonight. The attitude is, you're going to like me or else. And that's the attitude. That's part of Alice. That's where you have to psych into, you know. It's like a love affair. You take it and you grab it. And you shake it, you know, like that. And you say, you're going to love me or else. Yeah. Well, that's which is part of the show.
Yeah. But now look, they do tell me that you learn if you learn one good thing a day, it's been a successful day or a happy day. The image that you have given to me of dangling a little diamond in front of a baby's eyes, and
That's the old. There's nothing new about that.
It's very interesting to me. In a sense, you see, what you've done is allow me to dangle you in front of that lot.
Well, yeah, maybe so.
And find out one or two interesting things for which I'm very grateful.
I've only been dangled a few times in my life.
Stick around,
It's
honey.
exciting.
Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, Alice Cooper.